All right, seventh inning stretch with you here again. Friday, a lot of movement happening in the free agent. The Dodgers. What? We got comments already coming in. Give us your opinions. Everybody hate them now. What are the Yankees Mets doing about it? We'll get into the Scooble rumors as well. And can I get Logan going again on some trivia? That's going to be all up next. Seventh inning stretch starts now. All right. Hope everybody's having a good Friday evening out there. Logan, I showed the right before my Fat Boy Fadeaway show, I said, hey, Logan didn't get this trivia question right. Tyler was in shock. That tells me that you know what you're doing all the time. If you're surprising him when you don't get it. So that tells me that he's impressed by the knowledge background there. So a little shout out.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember who it was last week.
Oh, he's a lefty from Anaheim. It was Adam Kennedy, folks. If you are
Adam Kennedy, yeah.
Oh, you got it there. Hey, Bichette, right away. I'm thinking we're going Tucker here right away, and then all of a sudden today the news comes in that he signs with the Mets. 3 years, 126. Blue Jays now lose him. They look like they might have got Tucker at some point. Yes, they did get the C signing, got the outfielder from Japan as well. What do you make? The Mets kind of, Tucker obviously goes away, and now it's Bichette there. What do you make of Bichette to the Mets here?
Yeah, it's interesting. 3 years, $126 million. $42 million a year is a lot.
It's a lot.
Last season, and I'm not the biggest Bichette fan. I think I've kind of tainted you on him. 139 games, 18 home runs, 94 RBIs, 311 average, 357 on base, 840 OPS, and a 129 OPS plus. Now, I actually went deep on this because I was like, that's a pretty good year for a guy. And so I broke it down by month. I'm only doing on base percentage. So in April, he had a 328 on base, May 325, and then in June he had a 276 on base. So he's a historically slow starter. July, August, he had a 400 on base and a 425 on base, and then in September/October he had a 542 on base, but then that was because he had an injury halfway through the month. So, I mean, he gets his numbers up. He is good in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's good in the postseason. He gets his numbers up. I mean, he has respectable numbers. How
about the fact that he's not as short, though? You know what I mean? He won't have to play shortstop with the Mets, right? Third base, it looks like.
It's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the signing. It's good that he's going to be playing third base. Lindor's playing short. Simeon is playing second. That's nice. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It's I don't know. It's kind of weird. For me, I think $42 million was a lot to pay for a guy like that who's not a power hitter. He's just a contact hitter. But I mean, it's 3 years, so it's not gonna bite him in the long run. But I don't know. I just think that if he has a slow start like he usually does, it's gonna hurt the Mets more, and the Mets can't really afford to do that.
Yeah, Canucks won't win. There's no other sports teams no other super teams in baseball. The Mets and Phillies can try all they want, but no one can compete with the Dodgers. So these other signings are virtually pointless. On top of that, the Dodgers have the best farm system, or that was voted by people, so they can make moves for Scooble and other top players as well. Yeah, I mean we're gonna get to Tucker right now here just next on, but to his point though, with the Mets, it was we couldn't get Tucker. Now we're going back to Bo. Maybe that ends up working out for him in the long run. I do like the idea of Bichette and Lindor together on the left side. You got right hand, a switch hitter with Bichette. I know you're not a huge fan of him, but I do think him going to third base on a short-term deal. Yes, it's a buttload of money, but it isn't like a 7-year deal. I got to tell you, Logan, I don't hate it. I actually think it's a good signing for the Mets, and I think it's better than giving Tucker $60 million a year.
Yeah, that $60 million is a lot and definitely an overpay. But I mean, Yeah, I don't know. I
Is it
think
your
with the
thought
way
of
the Met,
is it just you
I,
don't like Bo though? Is that
it's
what?
not just that I don't like Bo. I just think that when he goes to the Mets, it's going to be his his mistakes are going to be a lot more costly with the Mets than they were with the Blue Jays. Where the Blue Jays, he had Vlad, he had center fielder or DH now, George Springer. He had a couple of other really solid guys, and he's been with that team for years. And I think with the Mets, it's just going to really make his shortcomings a lot bigger, a bigger deal than they need to be. And so I think it's going to hurt them actually.
I think me and you are going to disagree on this one. I think I really we don't usually disagree on some of this stuff. I hear what you're saying, but I also think Lindor, Soto, Bichette, those are three guys that get on base. I would say Soto, Soto, Bichette gets
Yeah,
on base. Lindor
yeah.
maybe struggles a little at times there, but I mean he's been great the last couple of years for him, and I was hard on him. So that would be where would you bat those three? Would you have would it go Lindor, Bichette,
Lindor,
Soto?
Bichette, and Soto. Yeah,
Soto backs him up on that side. There's no baseball gods with who the Dodgers can get. There is
maybe
nobody. There is
maybe
nobody.
Simeon and then Soto. But yeah,
Simeon, it'd be interesting where they put Simeon in this role. But I think I hear what you're saying. The fear of Bo. For me, it's the injuries always with him a little bit. Obviously, he wasn't running full speed last year in the World Series, and that I think Bo with his infield and the at bats are not all one dimensional at the plate. I think that's why I think it
yeah.
could work a little bit.
And you know what's funny is I think if they had re-signed Alonso, I think I'd be a lot more on board with this. Funny enough.
But do you think that I wonder, I was thinking about that too, was okay, this obviously offsets Soda, this offsets Alonso, right? Or
Yeah.
that's what the thinking is with that. I mean,
Replace Alonso with that.
he's going to be a better pure hitter, right? In terms of just putting the ball in play. We know that from Bichette compared to Alonso, but he's not hitting 45 home runs. That's not happening. He's not going to hit 50. Maybe he'll have a miracle season in that regard, but that's not consistently what you're going to get from him. I do think kind of to that point, though, is the dimension of the play. I think it gives their lineup a little bit more depth. And if they are to make a postseason run, you have harder at bats. And, Alonso's that threat. And we've said he's been clutch in the postseason for the Mets. So it's hard for me to really say. But there is that boomer bust right there a little bit, too, with Alonso that you won't get from Bichette. And I think we saw in the World Series, he stepped up. I mean, you know what I mean? He was good. Yeah. So I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I guess I would say for me it's a B plus for the Mets.
Yeah, that line of like you're still trying to get replace Giambi, we can't, so we're going to recreate him in the aggregate, and I feel like Bo Bichette is that yeah. They just signed Scott Hatteberg. Oh my goodness, yeah, 84-year-old Scott Hatteberg.
I mean, that would be like if the Mets were able to pull off something for like Alvarez too. Like Framber, or Valdez, excuse me. Like if that would, I would definitely feel different about their chances next year going in with two big signings. But I like the Bo signing for them. I understand you're a little hesitant on it, and I think partially it's the Mets probably too, and just their history with some of this.
And I was watching MLB or somebody, and they were saying, they might have gotten Bichette so that way they could free up Brett Beatty for a trade package for Skubal. And so if they got Skubal, I mean, that's a new team too. And so, I mean, getting Skubal and Bo Bichette and possibly Framber would be really nice.
Man, it's funny that because I really thought it'd be fun to see him back in Toronto. I thought it'd be I think it'd be great. I thought it'd be great to see him and Vlad kind of build off of last year together. Kind of was that core of sons that played in the major leagues, and I think from that angle, I don't like Toronto letting him go. I think it's a bad move on their part.
Yeah, I kind of don't. I wasn't surprised by it because they got that third baseman who the Japanese guy. I can't remember his name, but Yeah, I feel like they could have used him. They could have used Bichette. I feel like he would have give if they had been more insistent early on in the off season. They could have probably gotten him cheaper. So
Yeah, no, I like the Beatty for Peralta. Yeah, there we go. The Brewers, they got to get it. They get the hitter. Maybe Freddie Peralta, Brewers. I'd be very disappointed if you did that before the season starts. Yeah, we are going to get to Tucker here for a sec, but we always will take any comments and we'll take the show wherever we need to.
But what do you all think about the Royals moves?
Yeah, Royals here. What do we think of the Royals a little bit in the offseason before we get into Tucker here a little bit? I think the Royals a little less, for me, they haven't done enough. They haven't done anything for me that really moves the needle. Yeah, I don't know. The one thing I think with the Royals too is I know they re-signed the catcher. They signed him up, so they still have him. I just worry about their hitting. Behind Witt, they just consistently aren't really able to make enough moves at the plate to where they always seem to struggle, in that area. And so I guess for me, the Royals, when you look at the Central, yeah, it is open in that sense, but I don't know. I think they could have done a little bit more in some areas to maybe try to look to improve, whether it was the pitching again or however they went at it. But what do you kind of make of the Royals there?
I was trying to make sure that they didn't sign anybody of note, and no, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
And so they
got India last year, right? In that trade, right? So
yeah. It's just they don't really have anything besides Bobby Witt Jr. And I know that it seemed like they said not too long ago that they were going to be heavy in the market, but they haven't done anything this season.
Isaac Collins, right? They got him in the trade. They got Collins, right? That was the big move. The guy from the Brewers. And I would say that's not a huge move.
Yeah.
But they ended up getting him, who was in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
They got Matt Strahm. They got Matt Strahm, and they got Lane Thomas, Kevin Newman, kind of. You're getting excited about these guys and nothing really else.
Vinny and Bobby Witt are the keys, right? Like those guys are going to have to be. So I would say, to answer your question there, Canucks won't win. That might be true here. I just don't like what the Royals have done. And the Royals, this doesn't surprise me in any way whatsoever that they decided to go that route. But I do think Collins is a good player. I just, it's going to be hard for me to say that takes them over the top.
I don't think they got worse, but they definitely didn't get better. I don't think we're going to be saying in July, wow, Lane Thomas really helped Bobby Witt Jr. or, Kevin Newman. These guys are really shaking the.
And they had a good run 2 years ago.
They did, and then they squandered it. And so it's just weird. They need pitching, they need hitting, they need everything. Vinny Pasquantino isn't going to do it. Salvador Perez, worst extension you could have done. I think
that was like hey, we appreciate everything you've done. But that was like we appreciate right?
That was a Yachty contract right there, and I hated
the Yachty contract. All right, let's get to a contract that shook up the baseball world a little bit. Like we basically said, $60 million a year. This is what when I was growing up in the early 2000s, as a teenager, this is what the Yankees did. This is then what the Red Sox did. They just said, we are going to outspend you. We are going to take every superstar off the market. And the Dodgers have now taken that to another level. Like I said, and he has a couple opt-outs here after a couple of years that he could have too. So it'll be interesting how he uses that after the second year. But they get him on a 4-year, $240 if it all plays out. Like I said, has the opt-outs there, but $64 million signing bonus, $30 million deferred is, I guess, 29 years old. We looked at his stats last week. We even did something comparing him to Bellinger and Tucker kind of a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
From the Dodgers, we can say they can pay whatever. Is this an overreach for the Dodgers, or is it not matter just because we got the player and the money is just second at this point like that? I guess it's it's weird when you have these signings for me, Logan, because like you try to compare the money to the player, and that never. I never should do that because they usually are always getting paid more than I thought. But I guess where do you feel like this situation? It seems like a great spot for Tucker to be, obviously, to bounce back.
Well, yeah, he could have been paid $60 million a year to play for the Marlins, and he would have taken it. So he would have been happy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why the Dodgers. I mean, I know why, because it's funny. Like, they just won back-to-back World Series World Series.
Yeah,
and you think there's really not a lot of holes for the Dodgers, and then they get Kyle Tucker, and you're like, oh, there is a hole in the outfield that they could fill up with him. And so it is interesting. Like, yeah, they have a lot of superstars, but they also, I mean, they do have needs like every other team. It is definitely a lot. I don't know if the deferred money kind of forced it to go up to 60 million.
mm-hmm.
I don't know when the deferred money hits.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Yeah, it's definitely an overpay. Last year, Tucker played 136 games, 22 home runs, 73 RBIs, 266 average, 377 on base, 841 OPS, and a 143 OPS plus. I mean, he's really good. He's an elite outfielder defensively, something that they probably need. But I wouldn't.
I mean, their outfield was not. That was like the one thing about their team where you're like, if they lose, that's what they're going to revamp, and they did. Yeah. Right? We watched the World Series. They made the plays they needed to, but they weren't getting outside of Hernandez.
Yeah,
who was like
Andy Pages wasn't really doing anything, and
he was terrible in the. What do you have a go like 3 for 41 in the playoffs there? I mean, he caught the ball over the midget there in left field, but that was that was his famous play in center field there, the one that I thought was going to end it. I do want real quick, just before we get to him, we had a King Cash. What's the name? I like that. He's tuned in here. He says the Dodgers looked at the 2000 free agent class and said, let's go all in now. I mean, you could say there might be a locker, or we'll keep that under wraps. But they have that too. I will say Skubal, there is a chance he's a free agent though. Like just throwing it out there. He might be as a guy, and Gleyber Torres doesn't do it for you. I'm just saying. So you got so there are Chris Sale. There's some good, decent pitching options that might be available. But yeah, I get your point there. Suzuki's obviously available as well from the Cubs too. So we'll look at that. That actually might be a good fun podcast. King Cash is after we start to get to February. I look at next year's free agent class. So I like that idea there for us. Thanks for shouting it out here and joining in.
I'm looking at next year's class, and it's going to be a short episode.
Yep. So, yeah, you won't see much.
I think Randy Rosarina is going to be the biggest guy.
Not Skubal?
Looks like. Oh, well, yeah, Skubal, but yeah.
Imanaga is a free agent too. Woodruff, you got a few guys there. All right, yeah, Gosman, your guys there. So we'll dive into that too. But the Tucker part of it, now you have Ohtani batting leadoff. Where's Tucker? Betts? Does he go ahead of Betts now? Because Betts struggles and then bounce back. Where would you put Tucker? You got Will Smith, obviously, there, Freddie Freeman in that lineup too. Hernandez in there. Does he bat behind Hernandez? I mean, where do you think is the best spot for Tucker here?
Man, lead off Shohei, 2 Betts, 3 Tucker,
not Freeman,
4 Freeman. I like him at cleanup. And then Teoscar and
Will Smith.
Will Smith, yeah.
Yeah, Will Smith was in there too. I mean, it jumps in, and you got your boy Tommy, maybe Edmund there that can maybe get some little run there too. So just joking, but I mean, did it shock you that he went to the Dodgers? We did talk. I guess we always knew they were a possibility, but
yeah, it did shock me. I mean, just because there was not really any news that they were in on him, there was not really anything to really say anything, and yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, I mean, I don't think you can fault the Dodgers for coming in January and signing a free agent.
No,
I mean,
I don't blame them. It's shocking
No.
to me because we hadn't heard about it.
No, it's just I've seen so many people with the salary cap, and it's not fair that the Dodgers get to come in and swoop in. I'm like, they didn't swoop. It's January. They had November. Other teams had November and December to sign Kyle Tucker, and you didn't. And so the Dodgers came in and paid for him. So it's so dumb to me. Like, oh, we need a salary cap now because $60 million they can just waste on a player. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I mean, the Blue Jays seemed like it was a done deal 2 months ago when he spent 8 hours in their locker room or whatever. And the Met.
No, sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to say the only thing I would say, I guess, to counter that, I completely agree with you in terms of that's annoying. Like, like it is what it is. But I wonder if agents are now smart enough when you have a Tucker that you're just like, let's see what we get. The Dodgers, what's the high? Where can we go with this? You know what I mean? Like that might, like I said, like the Yankees and Red Sox used to be. Here's what these teams are offering. New York, here's your chance. Offer more. And maybe that's what happened here. Was like the Mets said, hey, we'll give you $55 million. We'll give you we'll give you $230 million. The Dodgers like, you know what? We'll give you 10 more, 240. I don't know like how that all worked. But I think the Dodgers are used as that to scare. Other teams know that's coming if they want to overpay. The Dodgers are probably ultimately going to do it. But the Yankees could have done this. There's no way you can convince me that these teams couldn't have done it. You can't convince me that the Giants couldn't have done it. And it pisses me off that these teams, Logan, are not doing it. You're allowing – I mean, you can't tell me that 240 is going to blow – as one team, if the Giants go out and spend 240, they're going bankrupt. Like, it frustrates me that these teams – don't do that. I'm going to get some comments on as you hit on this.
They do need a salary floor. Exactly. And so, it's just, it's so dumb. It doesn't make any sense. And you're right. Like they may have been using the Dodgers, but guess what? You may need to make Kyle Tucker an offer like the Dodgers did. And even just say, hey, we're going to go overpay for you because we really want you here back in November. But, these teams think, oh, well, we can get these guys and we're going to pay as little as possible. The Dodgers say, okay, we're going to pay you whatever you want. And that's fine because we care about winning.
And deferring.
And so and deferring. And I honestly do think at this point, the deferrals are going to be a huge issue for them in about 5-10 years now, because everybody's getting deferred
after they have 8 World Series in a row.
They're gonna have a yearly payroll of like $1 billion because they have so many deferrals. They can't even afford to put Tyler like any of the Cardinals players on there now. But like this, the Dodgers are a team that players want to go to, not just because of the money. They want to go because it's a winning culture. They have depth. They have everything that a player wants who wants to win. And so you can't fall. And I know you're not. And I don't think any of the comments are really doing it. But there are a lot of fans out there who are like, oh, the Dodgers just go out and buy everything. No, they don't. They spent years building up their farm system. They were crap, and then they traded for guys, and then they created a culture that made people want to come to them.
Thank you, Red Sox, for trading Mookie Betts, you asshole. I blame the Mookie Betts trade. You're right. The way you just said that's the one for me that changed.
Yeah, they weren't even winning winning World Series back, and then they got Mookie Betts. They got, even before that, they got Zach Greinke. They got. They got a lot of solid guys, and so
it didn't always work for them. They tried before that. Like I said, they tried that theory when they traded. I remember way back that Hanley Ramirez they would bring in. They would try that.
Carl Crawford,
but it didn't work. But then they had. I think that Betts one. They got that young superstar, and they kind of stayed consistent with it. And you're right, that really paid off for them in that regard. What King Cash they here? Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Tucker, Smith, and Hernandez. That's how I would probably roll with it. The only one I maybe would switch is Tucker Betts as you get low, but I don't think you want 3 lefties up in a row. So I think that probably would never happen. But I like that lineup right there. Give me a little Hernandez batting 6. Good God. Teoscar to me is, I've always said, like, just one of those guys for that team. He's just the guy where you don't think about it till when you're like, oh yeah, that guy's a stud too. Like you just that's what it kind of reminds me of. It was kind of, I know Posada is not as good as those guys hitting wise, but I remember as somebody always playing against the Yankees, you're like, damn it, Posada's 7th. You're like, yeah. So you'd be like, so that's kind of how Hernandez plays that role with me, even though he's a better pure hitter in that regard. Appreciate everybody in the comments. It's been kind of fun here on a Friday talking that. I've been excited with the baseball free agency. It's been good this year. It's been it hasn't been so stagnant, but it's been a little bit spread out, as well, Logan. So we get a little bit every week. And then there's somebody brought up Suarez here. Yeah, Aaron here is Ranger Suarez. Saw Bichette and said, yes, I laugh out loud. We're going to get as much as possible. But yeah, just to put a little bow on Tucker with it. Houston, they said, all right, we're getting rid of him. We know we're not going to be able to give him this contract. And then the Cubs, one of your big franchises in Major League Baseball, said, you know what? We're going to make a 1-year run with them. See you later. And they might have saw, and this is where the thing with Tucker, though, to me, is he worth that money? I don't know. Like he slumped for a good part last year too. I mean, I know he gets on base, but I like it. We did talk Xander last week. Is he worth the money? I said it's one of the worst contracts in baseball. Is that Bogarts? I said that was when we were talking that. I did say that though. I know you are a Padres fan there. I get you there with it. So I don't know. They need to do that already. What we got here? The Padres need to sell the team already, and hopefully. I mean, the one thing about that is they at least try to get it. So as somebody just watching, you're like, all right, at least some teams trying to go against the Dodgers. It might send them into 20 years of hell, but they did try to go for it. Look, they did try to go for it in that regard. Aaron China, it's more or less if Cohen did this, everyone would be freaked out, but because the Dodgers are the one said it. Is that true? I mean, is it just because Cohen, like with the Dodgers, you really don't even know who the owner is? Is that part of the, it's like Magic Johnson's the owner. I don't know. Like, it just seems like they have like 500 owners.
I think they're mad at the Dodgers for different reasons. If Cohen did it, it's just because, I wish I had $5 billion to just spend money on or whatever. So it's not about Padres being aggressive.
It's about the Padres being aggressive. They did them with their own players like Bogarts. Yeah, I'm just getting these comments in as they're coming in. I'm a Padres fan. I like Xander and like that. Luckily, when the Dodgers miss it has been on 1-year deals like Conforto or Yates. Hopefully, Tanner Scott bounces back. Yeah, and so the relief, that was probably the worst contract here that we see here a little bit. I would say the Edmund one might come back to bite him a little too, and I bet that's pennies those trades. With that, so I believe the Manning contract is worse. Wow, all right, the Machado contract worse than Bogarts. That does kind of surprise me a little bit.
May end up on a list later.
Might end up on a list a little bit later. Best third baseman ever that we've seen. We're going to do that list here. All right, so the Tucker, and then we, like I said, Suarez came up. We ripped the Red Sox last week.
Yeah,
but I think we both knew something a move was coming. We just didn't know who it was going to be.
It had to.
And we talked Suarez actually a decent amount last week too.
Yeah,
and it comes to be true. The Phillies, sayonara. You're not, JT Realmuto. We're getting you. We're gonna get, we got that. But Suarez, goodbye. Okay, now what I've been claiming for, Red Sox Nation, you need the next starter. You got it. Two dominant lefties at the top of your rotation. Now you can fit Sonny Gray, the XA, into the rotation here. No, not X Cardinal, XA. Let's keep it real. He goes with it. Now I'm starting to say, okay, we got a rotation here a little bit. We got Chapman as our closer who performed like he was on steroids last year. Like, I mean, you had but what a move. This is a good move for 135 years. I don't hate that either.
No, $26 million is pretty good for a 1A pitcher that they were looking for. So I like the move. Last season, 3.20 ERA, 1.37 ERA plus, 3.21 FIP, 1.22 WHIP, $26 million a year, and he's 29 years old. He'll be 34 whenever the deal is over. So I like that. The Red Sox pivoted hard after losing out on Bregman. And so they just gave it to Ranger Suarez. It's a bad week to be a Phillies fan, I think. You lose Ranger Suarez and you missed out on Bichette when you were so close, apparently. And so, I like the deal for the Red Sox. Does it change everything for me? Not necessarily. I think that rotation is going to be hard to play or hard to beat.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sonny Gray could be showing his age next season, and so, but Wilson Contreras may have a bounce back season. So I'm skeptical, but I am a little bit hopeful, and I think compared to what the Yankees did, I think right now it would be Blue Jays, Red Sox, Orioles, Yankees, and Rays. In the standings.
Ooh, it's kind of funny too because you have the Yankees with Rondon and Fried, the two lefties there. We'll see how Cole bounces back next year, coming early. So, and you got the Orioles that made some of the big moves this year as well. Let's see if they maybe make one more as well. Man, imagine if they get Framber. Now we got a good race going out of the East. If we got that, just kind of disappointed in the Phillies. I thought for sure they were going to re-sign him. I think that was my prediction last week. I guess they didn't want to go there with that. It surprised me with no Wheeler this year.
I think they were wanting to give that money to Bichette, and now they lost on Bichette. So it's you got to
keep rain. If that's what actually happened, I would be pissed if I was a Phillies fan. You're waiting on Bichette, who a free agent, when you know Ranger Suarez, you can get what you got. I mean, what are we doing?
Because now you have Aaron Nola and Jesus Luzardo, and that's it. So
that's one of the dumbest things. It's dumb. It's not. That's not good. That's not good baseball in that regard. That's not how I look at it. I would be very frustrated with that if I was a Phillies fan. And I know Philadelphia, brotherly love, but let's show it with some booze like we always do on that side of it. Hey, you said you did some digging into this. We talked about it before, the Scooble part. What a weird – are we getting into a situation now with the Tigers where they're just like being so cheap with the guy? I'm saying I wouldn't give him a $450 million contract. I'm just saying you could feel this collapsing. You could feel, hey, I want to be traded. It just has that whole sense coming. Maybe he does it. And I wrote it kind of here at the bottom. Why is Detroit messing around with a ace? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And so I was looking at the arbitration stuff. Scooble wants $32 million a year for his next contract in arbitration. Yeah. And for an ace who just won back-to-back Cy Youngs, I think that's pretty reasonable. Now, and I saw that the Tigers are wanting to give him $20 million in the contract, and neither side will budge. And it just seems like right now that it doesn't. It's not that it seems like it is. Yeah. The Tigers are just alienating Scooble and just telling him to go screw himself. And Scooble, I saw he went on Instagram today and he said something about how he needs to be paid $32 million because he saw Ranger Suarez get paid $26 million. He saw a couple other guys get paid around the same, if not more, than what he gets paid, and he's the best pitcher in baseball. Him and Paul Skeens. And it's ridiculous. It's just and the truth is that if the Tigers are wanting to trade him, if you're wanting to trade him, why are you screwing around with him so much? If you don't want to trade him, you really shouldn't be messing around with him. Give him what he wants, even if it is a year. You can afford $32 million for the best pitcher in baseball. He's going to be worth $50 million next year, and 50 AAV next year. Yeah. So why mess around with him? If you're trying to trade him, pay him whatever he wants, and then trade him for a haul and get him, and then get him out of your life. You don't have to pay that money, or at least you don't have to pay all of it. You may have to pay some, but I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And I saw that teams are wanting to go after Skubal and get proceed with trade talks, but they can't do it because they're not out of arbitration, and he's not going to be out of arbitration until February. And I can't see with this process going longer than it needs to go. I can't see Skubal wanting to stay. First of all, he may just say, you know what, I'm going to rest my arm this season. I have an injury, need Tommy John surgery or something. Or teams are just going to lowball the crap out of the Tigers, and they've already alienated Skubal that they're going to just have to take whatever offer comes out and, get Tommy Edman for Skubal.
Yeah, and that's the thing is he would obviously be a huge piece in the deadline. So we'll see where teams are. That always dictates the market, is actually where teams feel like they are in the race to maybe overpay on a guy like that, where you might have to only get him for 2 months. That's for sure in that too. Before I get back to Skubal real quick here, yes, we did talk Bo for 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the show there. We had our Bo as our breaking news there with it. Love the Manny, but the contract is like me and all you can eat sushi. Oh, a little contact. We're going physique, body shaming here with that. I like it. Padres stars disappear in closeout games. Yeah, no, they do. Yeah, the thing to me also, Logan, with the Tigers is that division is so for the taking. I mean, it's there, and you have the best guy in the playoffs to get it done. And you might say, hey, well, we had that chance with the Mariners and so and so. It's a 5-game series. I mean, you take your chances. I'm taking my chances with this guy. You had a chance because of him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the way Detroit's handled this at all.
No, it's dumb on so many sides, and it doesn't make sense. And I don't think, it's just you're not going to re-sign him after this year. I mean, I thought a couple months ago there was a chance that they re-signed him, extended him. And now I think that's out of the water. I didn't think he was going to get traded. Now I think it's a sure thing. So I don't know. I think the Mets want him. I think the Dodgers want him. I think half the teams want him.
Yeah, I think almost every team could get him.
Yeah, the Yankees probably want him, and so I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me the way that they're acting, and so.
I'd be very curious what they would get for him in a trade at this point. I mean, if I'm Detroit at this point, I would just play it out till free agency and just see if I can win the division and win a World Series with him. That's all. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. That's the route I would take with him. But just kind of one of those things where you're like, it's not smart baseball, that side of it. Before we get to our best third baseman ever, let's talk about one. Kind of an underrated, Arenado. He finally gets traded after what would you say, a year? You guys have been trying. The Cardinals have been trying to trade him
at least 2023. Right? Yeah, so 2 years.
I would say at least a year. They've been trying to get him, and then he ends up going to the D-backs here in a move. I guess what does he have left? And is this a good move for the D-backs? What do you make of it? Kind of there.
So. I think it's a good pickup for the D-backs. They're paying him $11 million over 2 years. The Cardinals and Rockies are paying the rest of his salary, so that's nice.
They're paying a lot of it.
Yeah, I think he adds to that team. I think he's probably better than Eugenio Suárez. He's definitely the best third baseman defensively in MLB. Still probably close to Machado. And I think offensively, being behind Carroll and Perdomo and Marte, I think that's going to help him a lot better than it was with the Cardinals, who were the minor leaguers the last 2 years. But from the Cardinals side, I think it's a huge head scratcher. I don't understand it at all. Why are you paying $32 million out of the 31 million out of the 42 million that he's owed to go to another team when you have 2 years left with him? It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, yeah, you want to free up the budget, but you didn't free it up that much.
Yeah.
We wanted to get want to get rid of him. Okay, you got rid of him, but you paid a bunch to get rid of him. You didn't get anything in return.
Yeah.
And so and a lot of Cardinals fans are happy that he's gone. And to me, I'm just thinking yeah, he wasn't performing well the last 2 years, but I mean, that's because you put nothing around him. You put no lineup around him. And
so you think he has something left then?
I do. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to turn it around, and I think he's going to do. I mean, even if he does 20 home runs, 20 home runs, 80 RBIs a year, I think that's a solid move for the D-backs. Now, and I will say, I don't think Arenado was getting worse just because of age. And I've said this multiple times. So he got traded to the Cardinals in 2021, played in 2021. He had an opt-out. He opted back into his contract. No problem whatsoever. 2022, they had Goldie, Arenado, Pujols, and they had a really good team, but they didn't go all the way in like they should have. And he was disappointed in that. And so after the 2022 season, they lose in the wild cards round again. And then and so he says, I'm going to talk with Mozeliak. I don't know if I'm going to opt back into my contract. And so he talks to Mo, and apparently the way that Mo had promised him was saying, we are going to go get other players. So as long as you opt back in, we're going to get players to surround you and make the team better. Well, he opts back in, and then they sign nobody. They sign Sonny Gray, an aging Sonny Gray, who's an ace if you want to get technical, but he was really good with the Cardinals, but he wasn't great. But then they didn't do anything. And so now Nolan Arenado is stuck with a franchise for 3-4 more years when he doesn't even need, when there's no system around him.
Yeah.
And so I think he just gave up. I think he was just like, well, screw you guys. You promised me that you were going to go out and get players, and you didn't go out and get players.
Yeah. I hear you.
You lollygagged. And so I have always said that in 2023 and 2024, it was just a much deserved temper tantrum. And
you've always said that. You've been behind that with them, because I think that's kind of dictated how you felt about the Cardinals front office as well during that scenario. I think so you think it's, let's put it this way, bad move for the Cardinals long term, didn't make the right moves around them. Good move for the D-backs because they get somebody that might be highly motivated. He's back in the NL West, likes to be on the West Coast, as he's kind of been trying to say here over the last couple of years, I guess, with trades as well. So I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of curious how Arenado bounces back. It would feel like, let's say he goes 14 home runs, 55 RBIs, then we're probably at the end of his career here. So it'll be interesting to see what he has left, and that will be an interesting part of it. As you get to these huge contracts, and he's starting to get towards the end of it. So it's kind of an interesting trade, like you said, maybe from the Cardinals' perspective. That was actually some good insight on that. How, like you said, they just didn't build around him when they had the opportunity to do it.
And he's not he's a really good player, but he's not great whenever he's the only hitter.
Yeah, he need more.
And he's a free swinger, and so he needs, he had Albert and Goldie in between around him, and so they were kind of taking away some of the brunt at bats. Like, they were having to pitch to him, and he was doing well. He was number 2 in MVP rankings in 2022 behind Goldschmidt, and so it doesn't make any sense to me. He got screwed by the Cardinals. I love the Cardinals, but I hate that move. I hate how they treated him. And Arenado, I'm sad that Arenado's gone because I have 3 jerseys of his. So
you can put the duct tape over it now. You get the different number of each one with it. But I like your perspective on that. I hope the fans enjoyed that one. I like the way you broke that down, especially from somebody that does kind of root for the Cardinals there when you feel like it. On that side of it, just real quick here, King Clash, I think the Dodgers will save prospects for a chance at Skeens. Who won't? Who will not save that for him on that side of it? All right, the best third baseman ever. This is how I want you to do, how we're going to do it. Just to go a little short on time here today, but why don't I'll go first, or you go first actually, because you're and just give me in order 10, 9, 8. It's kind of just hit for me, and we'll kind of hit some of your bullet points of your guys, and I'll give you my list as well. So, who do you got? Who do you have for your best third baseman ever that you have seen? That's the key.
Okay, so I don't know if he actually belongs on this list, but I wanted him. So Eric Chavez is number 10.
Okay, I like it. I respect it. I had him as like 14, but I like it there. I like it.
He had a huge drop off, but he was really awesome the beginning of his career.
Especially defense.
Yeah. Number 9 is Evan Longoria.
Wow. All right. I like it.
Yeah. And then number 8 is Josh Donaldson. Surprised he wasn't top 5 in my book, but yeah, I really liked him. One of my favorite players, honestly. And then number 7 is Jose Ramirez. Number 6, Manny Machado. Number 5 is Nolan Arenado. And those two were, I mean, it was basically 5A and 5A for me because they were neck and neck their entire career. Number 4, your favorite, Scott Rowland.
Yes. That's a good call.
Number 3, Adrian Beltre.
Yep, I like that.
Number 2, Chipper Jones.
All right.
No arguments there. And then number 1, I don't know if this is controversial or not, but Alex Rodriguez.
No, I got the same one. He's number 1 for me too.
Yeah.
He's number 1. What was your hardest? What were Chavez at 10?
Yeah.
That surprises me a little bit. That surprises me a little bit there. Chavez at 10. No All-Star games. I always say that. It's one of the funny things about him on that. I expect the D-backs at least trying to make the playoffs. Any update at Burns? I've heard Burns is supposed to be back in May, possibly. That late May is what I've seen on Burns, possibly coming back there for the D-backs. All right, so I went number for the top guy for me is A-Rod. A-Rod's number 1. Whatever, all that, he's the best third baseman. I had Chipper 2. I have Beltre 3. I have Machado 4 is what I have there as well. I have Ramirez 5. I have Scott Rowland 6. Arenado 7. David Wright 8. I had David Wright in there at number 8. I had Mike Lowell at 9, and then Ryan Zimmerman at 10. Those were the 10.
Really.
Those were the guys I had in that list. I had a few. Arenado. Just not been my. I like him, just not my cup of tea in that regard. I know those Gold Gloves. People will probably rip on me for that. And then another one that was hard for me to leave off too was Bregman. Yeah, he was hard for me to leave off. And there were some other names. I had Mike Lowell on there. That was kind of in my discussion. I had Eric Chavez. I had Ken Caminiti. Yeah, Matt Williams were kind of the three, or some of the other names I was kind of debating by in terms of that part with it. Just your all-time lineups real quick. One start, one closer. At some point, we might have to do that.
Ryan Zimmerman probably should have been my number 10. Maybe number 9.
Did you see Mike Lowell? Mike Lowell was a stud. I mean,
he was a little bit like he was on the tail end whenever I started watching. Was he on the Rays whenever I was watching? Yeah, I think that was whenever I started watching. So I think I got the tail end of him. But I think Mike Lowell, great. Let's see. Who was it?
What was hard for you? Was there any where you ranked them or where you had them a little tougher?
Manny and Nolan were hard just to see who was better. I kind of just looked because they basically were even neck and neck. Who was the other one? Jose Ramirez. I thought because technically he has better stats than a lot of these other guys, but he's just so young that I couldn't do. I think he's only been playing since 18. And so I thought I needed to see more of him before I could put him in the top 5 or so.
He'll probably be there though.
Yeah. Josh Donaldson, I think had too much of a downfall for me
short. Yeah. Too short.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think Chipper and Beltre were also kind of hard to do, but I think number 1 was clearly Alex. The only thing so I kind of thought maybe I needed to put Alex at 6, only because he played shortstop for half of his career. And so
that's fair.
I thought, yeah. And then I thought, well, maybe that's technically wrong. But other than that, other than like 8 of the things, it was pretty easy.
I mean, some good players on this list.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I mean, we didn't even leave. We left we left some we left some darn good players. Like you said, Kim and Nitty for me was a good player during that time for sure. So there are some guys that we definitely could have had on the list that we didn't as well. So Kyle Seager, shout out Kyle Seager. No, so we got some. Manny is the best defensive third baseman right now. Call me biased. I would. It's hard for me not to say him or Arenado. I would say
they really are so neck and neck. For me, it was the multiple platinums. I did take defense into
Matt Chapman's in that list too defensively.
Yeah, defensively in the last 25 years, he's probably top 5, top 3 maybe. And so offensively he's just been so mediocre.
Yeah. No, it's kind of fun doing this list. We'll probably do shortstop next week. That's going to be really tough. So that shortstop will be really tough. But yeah, third baseman, kind of a fun one with it. Taking a look at those teams with it. All right, Diamond Notes with it. Brandon mixed it up on me a little bit, so I'm trying to clamor for the old stuff. But there we go. It's going to be a quick one, 3 seconds. There you go. All right, we're back with it. Diamond Note, really quick. I told him, I said, I got to bring it back. Got to bring back the original with the Diamond Notes. What do we think? Phillies, they do agree to a deal with Realmuto, 4 year. They get the $45 million deal low. Brandon Lau to the Angels on Gavin Lux to the Rays and the 3-team trade. Kershaw is going to pitch in the World Baseball Classic. He says he's back. We're going to get a little bit. He's going to get a little love there. We've got the Hall of Fame. That's going to probably be a topic next week. Voting for that is going to be next week. So I'm sure Logan will hit on some of those guys I get into. So, just those are just a few little notes from the week. What do you got in terms of what kind of caught your attention here with Diamond Note types of material here?
Realmuto just makes me laugh because he was an afterthought behind Bichette and Ranger Suarez, and so they were like, okay, well we'll take you, otherwise Phillies fans will riot. Kershaw, I'm a little bit disappointed with because I don't want him to pitch against Japan. Yeah. Other than that, I don't care. Oh, Alex Bregman signs with the Cubs. Makes me really excited for the Cubs this season. So,
yeah, what did you make of that? Bregman, this Tucker, they get Bregman.
Yeah, I loved it. I think that's a really great infield now. Now they have a good problem of choosing between seeing what they want to do with Nico Horner. Because Michael Busch
and the rumors for that right now. I'm hearing them heavy.
Yeah,
Nico Horner.
Yeah, him and Donovan. And so I really like it. I think there are opt-outs, which is crazy, the whole no opt-outs thing with Red Sox. But I loved it. I thought this is it makes me really excited to be a Cubs fan if I was one. And so yeah.
For a moment you could be a fan of it.
Which I kind of am, so yeah.
You're like, for a moment I could be a Cubs fan for just a second. Yeah, that's all we get out of that is just a Cubs fan for a moment here. All right, so yeah, that's our Diamond Notes with the week. The Bregman one was really interesting there in terms of. I thought the Kershaw, kind of coming back there as well, kind of wanting to try to do that as well. I thought was kind of an interesting thing too. So, kind of enjoyed that little part of it too. So, all right, it's at that time of the show here. We're going to get to MLB trivia.
Okay, hold on. Let me hide the chat and turn my phone off.
All right, here we go. This I think it's another tough one, but maybe not. Maybe this is gonna get Logan back on track. That's a good guess, but no. All right, hit number one.
Newman. Oh,
Buster. It is. How did you know? I played 16 seasons from 1998 to 2013. amassing over 2,000 hits, 100 home runs, starting my career in St. Louis. He played there for more than just 1 year.
Starting my career in St. Louis, ending in 13. You know what? Rick Ankiel.
Hell of a guess. I feel like Rick Ankiel is just going to be your guess until I actually put him on it. It's not Rick Ankiel. It's not there with it. All right, I'll go to hit number 2 here.
Oh, you know what? Fernando Sr.?
No, not Fernando Sr. Not Fernando Sr. at all. But they got 2,000 hits. That's nothing to. That's a lot of hits in baseball. As well. All right, hit number 2. I did this last week with you on the 2002 ALCS MVP. Now he won the 2006 ALCS, beating the famed Oakland A's and the Eric Chavez. It's 4 games to none. I hit 529 in that ALCS while playing. He was an infielder. So that's your hit. Had 2,000 hits. Kind of get back to that. Obviously, probably not a third baseman or first baseman with 104 home runs, but maybe he is. Maybe we're tricking you here a little bit. Any guesses?
Maglio Ordonez. Is this the name?
I've already done him. We're not doing no Maglio again. No Maglio again. You got that one.
No, it's not a pitcher.
Infielder. He won the ALCS MVP. So that tells you the team he played for.
Yeah. The Tigers in 2006, which is always a hard one. Oh.
Tell me when you want to hit number 3 if you want.
Oh, this is not good because I have him. I have his face. I have him playing in my head.
Let's go hit number 3 just so people can see it and you can go from there with it. I played for the Cardinals, the Angels, the Tigers, the Phillies, and Marlins, batting right-handed. I was a 2-time All-Star.
It's Polanco, Placidius. How do you say his name?
Placido Polanco is the answer. Well done there. Logan Stone bouncing back.
Yeah.
With it. Aaron always a tough one. I always got to get Aaron too in there with it. You and Aaron together it motivates me. I think I got Aaron on Devon White one time and I was happy about that. So we go there with that. So he's a big fan. He got it done. Logan Stone. Way to bounce back. What was the clue? Where'd you start thinking? Where was the
it was 98, and I was thinking, okay, I know the Tigers, and I was like, he has not a dumb name, but a really weird name, and then he had and then I was like, okay, he went to the Phillies right after this. And I was like, okay, what's his first name? And then I thought, just forget about the first name. And then I remember Polanco. So I was like, it's a third baseman. And the other guy I was thinking was, I can't even remember. Hold on. I'm going to have to look it up. But
I almost thought Omar Infante. That's a good guess, too. Omar with those Tigers. 9 out of 17 against the A's in that damn series he went to this LA. The guy was a pain in the butt, man. The guy, he good Philly too, right?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about his Cardinals days.
Yeah. He played for like 5 seconds. So Eli Marrero.
He had 4 years with you guys. He had 4 years. Eli who?
Eli Marrero. I don't know if you remember him. He was a catcher though.
Yes, I do remember him. But that's what I think he played for the Giants too, actually.
And Mets.
I think he played for them too. So, all right, that's Logan steps up his game. That means I'm going to have to go a little harder next week with Frank Medicino. I'm going to go Frank Medicino next week.
Don't do the hard names.
We're not going to do that. All right, Brandon, I need you to bring, even though I hate Buck, we're going to have to bring it back. We're going to go a little shorter here at the flashback part of it. So, all right, here's my MLB flashback for the week. Here, this is just gets me ready for baseball. This is old school baseball for me. Introduction to Sunday night baseball. Old school here. We're talking early 90s. Get me a little John Miller to get me fired up for a game against Milwaukee. Here we go.
Now from County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. The Cleveland Indians take on the homestanding Milwaukee Brewers on a beautiful, humid night from Milwaukee.
This makes me really excited for ESPN, Netflix, and all these broadcasts doing it.
Look at this.
baseball.
Let's get John as we enter back in. That's the best.
It's a beautiful, humid night for baseball in Milwaukee.
Oh, we got that. Logan, if that doesn't make you want to just crave for some summer baseball, I don't know what does. That's why I love the sport partially. You know what I mean? A little Sunday night.
I love this sport more than anything. So it doesn't take much for me to get excited. And you know how much I love John Miller. So
hey, John, that's good stuff right there. Listen to that. I'm like, all right, I got a good one for you next week too. A little clue. It might maybe Buck will be involved, or so we might have to get involved. I got a good one for next week too. I mean that's good. Isn't that good stuff right there? I mean that is like that's premium introduction there to it. It is funny. You're right there. The NBC's now we got baseball back too as well. They put out their slate of a handful of games. Like we got 26 games. Here they are. I thought that was kind of funny that they had that to go with it. But I appreciate everybody in the comments. King Cash. Canucks won't win. We got everybody. I appreciate that. The Padres there with it, getting in the Aaron. Appreciate you jumping in. Paslito. Well done. Way to get him as well on that too. Logan, shortstops next week. That's gonna be a tough one. We're gonna have that one. I gotta think we'll have some differences in because you love Jeter more than I do. So
that is true.
So that
is true.
He's at on that
Ozzie
side.
Smith. No,
no,
okay.
You didn't even see him play. If you have Ozzie in there, I'm gonna be disappointed in there. If you got Ozzie in there, I mean, you're gonna have some issues to get into. But all right, hey, take a guess as we get to next week. Who gets signed? Does Framber get signed by next week?
Bellinger has to get signed by Monday. Framber Friday.
Okay, so you're thinking by next week we might have some signings there with it, but all right. Hey, it's funny. It's like I'm like pitchers, catchers, about a month away. Yeah. We're getting closer here at this part. We're starting to play NFL playoffs are ending. That means baseball's starting here. So I'm looking forward to the season already. Now the
real sports can begin.
Yeah, exactly. We got the Winter Olympics. We got that coming too. So. All right, for Logan Stone, I'm Darren Breyer here. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us at 7:30 Stretch. Great show tonight. Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Bye, Felicia.